Hmm. You refer yourself as an anomalist. How would you describe that?
Yeah. One of my terms to describe myself is an anomalist. I was trained as an anomalist by a scientific think tank that does anomalistic, specific investigation into phenomena. Anomalies are any type of phenomena or an event that defies the known laws of nature and physics, or something that happens which not supposed to happen, basically. That's the simple explanation. It could be somebody who was under ice in a river for 3 hours and should be dead, and when they revive, suddenly they're perfectly normal. There's no brain activity. They're an anomaly. An anomaly can be when a chair flies across the room. To the layperson, that might be poltergeist activity, because chairs don't usually fly across the room. But to an anomalist, that's anomalous kinetic activity. We specifically look at just the event that happens to try to explore it from a scientific aspect. Whereas the parapsychologist, if I take that approach to it, then I incorporate more terms dealing with haunts, poltergeist, psychic phenomena, things like that.
Hmm. And how would science came into that? And how science explain some things?
Well, science again would be more of the anomalistic person. The anomalist in me uses actually more in-depth and more defined science than even most scientists use. If they use the empirical method, anomalistics is even more in-depth, because it doesn't come to conclusions if you don't know what it is. In empirical science, they basically say, well, if you can't reproduce it, it's not happening. Anomalistics doesn't do that. It means to say that, okay, the phenomena could be outside of our understanding. So it has a broader understanding of the potential of things we don't understand. That's kind of the scientific terminology. If you're referring to specific poltergeist activity, in parapsychology, they incorporate concepts regarding what could be producing this phenomenon. Obviously, if objects are moving around the room, there must be some kind of energy there. And in physics, the theory is that there's some kind of energy there we don't quite understand yet. Maybe something that hasn't been defined in order to make these events happen. And that's the basic theory of what could be producing it. Parapsychologists, one of the aspects they believe in of the many different types of poltergeist activity is something called RSPK, recurring spontaneous psychokinesis, which means it's not a ghost or disembodied spirit moving the object. It's actually someone living in the house who has a subconscious ability to move objects with their mind. And people think, oh, it's a ghost, when actually they're doing it with this ability of psychokinesis.
In the 1800s, there was a fad called Spiritism and Seance, and there was a lot of people who debunked that. So what's the percentage of things that you knew they were made by human, and you can explain?
Yeah, in the 1800s, spiritualism movement obviously brought about a lot of claims, huge claims, massive claims, and there was a massive amount of fraud in there because people began to gravitate toward it and take advantage of it. Unfortunately, it kind of got muttered the real events and real phenomena, things that were credible to explore. I think that continues to this day. As there are more encounters and things like that happen, phenomena like that happens, there's always that element of other explanations. And in every case that I do, of thousands of poltergeist cases I do, I follow a very scientific protocol. First, I rule out rational explanations. First, I rule out circumstantial, psychological, physiological, and environmental explanations. A good 70 to 80% are explainable, are logical events that happen. But there's a 20 to 30% that, after you go through all those, that science can't explain it. There's no definition, no explanation for these phenomena. If you use a scientific term, they would basically say, we don't know what's causing it. If you embrace the belief systems of it, then that's where you could say maybe it's somebody who's a spirit or a disembodied ghost moving the object.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.